The Death Note is a powerful supernatural notebook from the anime and manga series Death Note. Its main ability is simple but terrifying. Anyone whose name is written in it will die. However, there are strict rules governing how it works. To kill someone, the user must know both the person's name and face. This prevents people with the same name from being affected by mistake. The user can also choose the victim's cause and time of death. If the chosen death is physically possible, the victim will die exactly as specified. If it is impossible, the victim will instead suffer a fatal heart attack. The Death Note resembles an ordinary black notebook, but it is made from materials unknown to human science. It is highly durable and never runs out of pages. Originally, these notebooks belonged to Shinigami, gods of death who use them to kill humans and extend their own lifespans. If a death note is dropped into the human world and found by a human, that person becomes its owner and gains the ability to see and interact with the Shinigami connected to it. The notebook also has several unique rules. If a person's name is accidentally misspelled 4 times, they become immune to the death note. However, if someone intentionally misspells a name 4 times in an attempt to kill the wrong person, the user will die instead. Owners can also make the Shinigami Eye deal, which grants them the ability to see the names and remaining lifespans of anyone they look at. In exchange, they must give up half of their own remaining lifespan. In the story, the Death Note becomes the center of a tense psychological battle. After discovering the notebook, Light Yagami uses its power to kill criminals and create what he believes is a better world. The Dragon Balls are the most important artifacts in the Dragon Ball franchise. Created by the Namekian race, they are 7 mystical spheres that, when gathered together, can summon a powerful eternal dragon capable of granting wishes. Each Dragon Ball is a smooth, amber-colored crystal sphere containing a different number of red stars, ranging from 1 to 7. Their size varies depending on the set, with some being as small as a baseball and others as large as a basketball. When all 7 are brought together, they begin to glow and resonate with energy. By reciting the proper incantation, the user can summon the dragon connected to that particular set of Dragon Balls. Once a wish is granted, the Dragon Balls become inactive and turn into ordinary stone spheres. They then scatter across the planet and remain dormant for a period of time before regaining their power. Earth's Dragon Balls, for example, require 1 year to recharge. The Dragon Balls possess immense reality-altering abilities. Although their limits depend on the power of their creator, they can perform incredible feats such as resurrecting the dead, restoring entire planets, granting power, and materializing objects. Several different sets of Dragon Balls exist throughout the universe, each with its own unique dragon and abilities. Earth's Dragon Balls were created by Kami and summon the dragon Shenron. They are relatively small and have certain limitations. Originally, Shenron could not kill beings stronger than his creator or revive the same person more than once. The Namekian Dragon Balls are much larger and summon the dragon Purunga. Unlike Shenron, Purunga can grant 3 wishes instead of 1 and is capable of reviving multiple people at once. Our most powerful set are the Super Dragon Balls, enormous planet-sized spheres created by the dragon god Zalama. These Dragon Balls are scattered across both universes 6 and 7 and possess virtually no known limits, allowing them to grant wishes on a truly cosmic scale. Ryoma and Sukuna's fingers are special-grade cursed objects in Jujutsu Kaisen and serve as the key to the return of the legendary King of Curses. More than 1,000 years before the events of the series, Sukuna divided his soul into 20 fragments, which were sealed within his 20 mummified fingers. These fingers preserved his existence long after his physical death. The fingers are considered indestructible due to the immense amount of cursed energy they contain. Rather than being destroyed, they can only be sealed away. Their overwhelming cursed energy also acts like a beacon, attracting nearby cursed spirits. Many curses seek out the fingers in an attempt to consume them, gaining a significant increase in power if they succeed. When a human consumes one of Sukuna's fingers, they can potentially become a vessel for him. Most people would die from the experience, but rare individuals such as Yuji Itadori possess the ability to survive and suppress Sukuna's consciousness within their body. As more fingers are consumed, the vessel gains access to greater amounts of cursed energy and a larger portion of Sukuna's power. If a cursed spirit consumes a finger instead of a human, it evolves into a powerful special-grade curse known as a finger bearer. These creatures possess immense strength due to the fragment of Sukuna's power contained within them. Later in the story, it is revealed that the fingers serve a greater purpose than simply storing cursed energy. They act as anchors for Sukuna's soul, connecting it to the world of the living and making his eventual reincarnation possible. The Millennium Items are 7 ancient magical artifacts from the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise. Forged thousands of years ago using powerful dark magic, they were created to contain and control the supernatural forces of the Shadow Games. Each item possesses unique abilities, but all of them share a connection to the spiritual world and can be used to initiate Shadow Games, mystical contests where the consequences can affect a person's mind, soul, or even their life. The most famous of the 7 artifacts is the Millennium Puzzle, which houses the spirit of Pharaoh Atem. In addition to serving as Atem's vessel, the puzzle grants its user extraordinary skill in games, limited probability manipulation, and access to powerful dark magic. The Millennium Eye allows its wielder to read minds, look into a person's soul, and even seal souls inside cards. The Millennium Ring acts as a supernatural compass, guiding its owner toward whatever they seek and helping locate other Millennium items. The Millennium Rod grants powerful mind control abilities, allowing its user to manipulate the thoughts and actions of others. It can also be used to seal spirits into stone tablets. The Millennium Necklace gives its wielder visions of both the past and the future, though these visions are not always absolute. The Millennium Key allows its owner to enter a person's mind, explore their memories, read their thoughts, and even alter the structure of their soul. The Millennium Scale is used to weigh the darkness within a person's heart, and in ancient times was also used in rituals involving the fusion and creation of monsters. One of the most unique aspects of the Millennium Items is that they appear to possess a degree of sentience. They do not simply obey anyone who picks them up. Instead, they often seem to choose their owners, and someone who takes an item by force may be unable to access its full power unless the artifact accepts them. The Stand Arrow in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is an ancient artifact made from a mysterious extraterrestrial meteorite that fell to Earth thousands of years ago. It has a distinctive, golden, organic-looking design and plays a major role in the development of stand abilities throughout the series. The arrows were discovered in Egypt by Diavolo and later distributed across the world by Enya Guile. Multiple stand arrows exist, at least 6 are known, and each one has influenced major events across different story arcs. The stand arrow functions as a catalyst for awakening a person's hidden spiritual energy. When someone is pierced by its tip, one of 2 outcomes occurs. If the individual has strong enough willpower or spiritual strength, they survive and awaken a stand, which is a physical manifestation of their soul that grants unique abilities. If they lack this inner strength, the arrow overwhelms their body, and they die shortly after being pierced. In rare cases, a stand user can pierce their own stand using a special arrow, often referred to as the Requiem arrow. This can trigger a transformation known as a Requiem stand, which dramatically enhances the stand's power and can alter its form. These evolved stands often gain reality-altering abilities that reflect the user's deepest desires at the moment of transformation. The Philosopher's Stone in Fullmetal Alchemist is the highest form of alchemical creation, a legendary object that allows its user to bypass the fundamental law of equivalent exchange. Normally, alchemy requires that something of equal value be given in return for what is gained, but the Philosopher's Stone breaks this rule. The stone is not a natural mineral, but a man-made creation forged through a horrific process. Its true power comes from the sacrifice of human lives. The souls of those used in its creation are condensed into the stone, forming a stored mass of energy and consciousness that fuels its abilities. This stored energy allows an alchemist to perform transmutations without providing an equivalent exchange. In practice, the stone supplies the missing cost, enabling feats that would otherwise be impossible. It also allows users to bypass the need for transmutation circles, acting as a direct conduit for alchemical power. With the Philosopher's Stone, an alchemist can heal severe injuries, restore lost limbs, or perform large-scale transmutations instantly. However, this power comes with a severe moral cost. The souls inside the stone remain conscious and are subjected to ongoing suffering as they are used as fuel. Each use of the stone consumes these souls until none remain, at which point the stone disintegrates into dust. Because of this, the Philosopher's Stone is viewed as a deeply unethical object by many alchemists. A Pokeball is a specialized spherical device used in the Pokémon franchise to capture, store, and transport Pokémon. enabling trainers to carry and battle alongside them. It is one of the most fundamental technologies in the Pokémon world, supporting the bond between humans and Pokémon. The device works through advanced energy conversion and storage technology. When a Pokeball is thrown and makes contact with a wild Pokémon, it opens and emits a beam of energy that scans the target. This energy converts the Pokémon's physical form into a compact stream of energy, which is drawn into the ball and stored inside. Inside the Pokeball is a stabilized, artificial space where the Pokémon is kept in a comfortable, low-energy state until it is released. To release a Pokémon, the trainer presses the central button on the Pokeball. This triggers the reverse process. The stored energy is projected outward and reconstitutes the Pokémon's physical body. Pokeballs are designed to be lightweight and portable. Over time, many specialized variants have been developed by companies like Silphco and other manufacturers. These include different types optimized for specific conditions, such as improved capture rates, environment-specific performance, or enhanced comfort for certain Pokémon species. The core drill in Gurren Lagann is a mysterious relic discovered by Simon in the underground village of Giha. At first glance, it appears to be nothing more than a simple piece of jewelry or a basic mining tool. But it is actually a crucial interface for Spiral Power, the evolutionary force that drives life, growth, and the series' mecha combat. Its primary function is to activate and pilot Lagann, a small gunman. When inserted into Lagann's core socket, the core drill allows Simon to synchronize his spiral energy with the machine. This connection enables full control of the gunman and significantly amplifies its capabilities. The core drill also serves as a direct focus for Simon's willpower. By channeling spiral energy through it, Simon can manifest drills across Lagann's structure, giving the mecha its signature ability to pierce through enemies, defenses, and even abstract limits such as space and reality itself. In addition to offense and piloting, the core drill can override enemy gunmen systems. By drilling into their control cores, Simon can disrupt and take over hostile machines using his spiral energy. More than just a tool, the core drill symbolizes human perseverance and evolution. The Behelit in Berserk is a grotesque sentient artifact that serves as a bridge between the physical world and the deepest layers of the astral world. Often called the Egg of the King, it is a key instrument of causality, the unseen force that governs fate throughout the series. A Behelit typically resembles a small, fleshy object shaped like a human head, with distorted facial features such as eyes, a nose, and a mouth scattered across its surface. In its dormant state, it appears completely lifeless and inanimate, despite its unnatural origin. Its main function is to act as a gateway between the human world and the realm of the God Hand, a group of powerful entities that manipulate human destiny. The Behelit does not appear randomly. Instead, it is guided by causality to inevitably reach individuals who are destined to become apostles or otherwise play a significant role in its cycle. The artifact remains inactive until its owner reaches a moment of extreme despair, often described as the lowest point in their life, where all hope of achieving their desires through normal means has been lost. At this moment, the Behelit activates, its features shifting into a unified screaming face as it begins to bleed or weep. Once activated, the Behelit tears open a rift in reality, transporting the user and those nearby into the presence of the God Hand. There, the individual is offered a choice, to abandon their humanity and be reborn as an apostle in exchange for sacrificing something or someone they deeply value. There are two known forms of Behelits. Standard Behelits are typically used to create apostles, powerful demonic beings who serve the God Hand. The Crimson Behelit, however, is a rare and legendary variant that appears only once every few centuries. It is reserved for individuals destined to ascend beyond apostles and become members of the God Hand themselves. Griffith is the most notable bearer of the Crimson Behelit. The Hogyoku in Bleach is a small bluish-purple orb created independently by Kisuke Urahara and Sosuke Aizen. Urahara developed his version in an attempt to break down the boundaries between Shinigami and Hollows, while Aizen created a separate version in pursuit of his own ambitions. Eventually, Aizen combined both into a single, complete Hogyoku. At first, it was believed that the Hogyoku's purpose was simply to dissolve the separation between Shinigami and Hollow powers. However, its true ability is far more advanced. It manifests the deepest desires of those around it. Rather than creating something entirely new, it accelerates outcomes that already exist as latent possibilities, effectively fast-forwarding potential into reality. If a being does not possess the inherent potential or capacity to achieve a certain transformation, the Hogyoku cannot fully realize that desire. It works by sensing what a person is capable of becoming and then forcing that evolution to occur instantly. Because of Urahara's original intent to bridge Shinigami and hollow existences, the Hogyoku naturally facilitated the creation of Vizards and Arrancars. In this sense, it reflects the will of its creator while also expanding beyond it based on surrounding desires. The Hogyoku also exhibits a degree of sentience. When fused with a user such as Aizen, it acts as a protective and adaptive force, granting rapid regeneration and continuously altering the user's soul to ensure survival against otherwise fatal damage. It can fundamentally reshape the user's existence, pushing them toward higher forms of evolution as long as their will and ambition remain strong enough to guide that change. In the Fate series, the Holy Grail is not a religious relic, but a highly advanced magical construct designed to function as an omnipotent wish-granting system. At its core, the Grail is a vast reservoir of magical energy connected to the root, the metaphysical origin of all magic and existence in the Fate universe. It acts as a gateway to this ultimate source, allowing reality-altering phenomena to be carried out through an enormous flow of stored mana. The system is divided into two main components. The Greater Grail is a massive subterranean structure that functions as the primary magical engine and storage vessel. The Lesser Grail is a physical container, often appearing as a cup, which serves as the interface or terminal used to access and direct the energy within the Greater Grail. The Holy Grail War itself is a ritual created by the Ainsburn, Tosaka, and Makiri families to activate this system. In the war, 7 servants are summoned and forced to fight. As they are defeated and return to the system, their spiritual energy is absorbed, gradually filling the Grail with enough power to break through the boundary of reality and potentially reach the root, granting access to true magic. While the Grail is often described as a wish-granting device, it is not truly omnipotent. It does not create something from nothing. Instead, it supplies the immense magical energy required to achieve a wish, meaning the result must still be theoretically achievable within the rules of the world. Its original purpose was to open a path to the root of existence, granting ultimate knowledge and power to whoever succeeds. Despite its name, the Holy Grail is not a divine artifact, but a man-made system of magecraft, and it is widely regarded as a dangerous and corrupting instrument due to the catastrophic cost of its activation. Fairy Heart in Fairy Tail is the guild's most closely guarded secret. Despite early misconceptions that it was a powerful spell or ancient artifact, it is actually a physical source of seemingly infinite magical energy. Fairy Heart is the preserved physical body of Mavis Vermilion, the first master of the Fairy Tail Guild. Encased within a specialized lacrima, Mavis was afflicted with the Contradiction Curse, which granted her immortality while unintentionally draining life and magic from everything around her. After she fell into a death-like state, Precht, the second guildmaster, attempted to revive her using forbidden dark magic. Over time, the combination of failed resurrection experiments and the residual effects of her curse transformed her body into a limitless reservoir of magical power. As a result, Mavis became a living source of infinite magic, effectively functioning as an endless magical battery. Fairy Heart's primary function is to supply an inexhaustible amount of magic power to whoever can access it. This makes it one of the most dangerous and valuable sources of energy in the world of Fairy Tail. When Zareth obtained and used Fairy Heart, he achieved a godlike state, gaining access to abilities such as manipulating time and space and reshaping existence itself. In this form, he became capable of resetting or altering the world on a massive scale. However, Fairy Heart is also a vulnerability. Because Mavis's ethereal consciousness is still connected to her physical body within the lacrima, any damage to it could disrupt or diminish its power, making it both an extraordinary asset and a critical liability for the guild.